Seattle Mariners add some good offense to their roster, trading for Jorge Polcano. So a big deal here. The Minnesota Twins get Anthony DeSclafani, Justin Tapa, Gabriel Gonzalez, and a number 66 reliever in the pipeline, Darren Owen from the Seattle Mariners. So Jorge Polcano, we know he's had a pretty decent career with this Minnesota Twin team, and they needed a second baseman was this Mariners team. So after 10 seasons with Minnesota, they move on from him. Is Jorge Polcano, and now he goes to the Seattle Mariners. So Polcano, he has some pop, and like I said, he's a guy that could drive in runs and steal bases as well. His best season of his career was in 21 with 33 homers, 98 RBIs, a 269 average, a 323 on base, 97 runs scored, and 588 at bats. But last season, nicked up for half the year was Jorge Polcano. 80 games played, but he still had 14 home runs, 48 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, 77 runs scored, and only 302 at-bats, a 255 average, and a 335 on base. So right now he goes to Seattle. We know it's not much of a hitter's ballpark, but either was Minnesota, and he had some big seasons, was Jorge Polcano. The problem's been health over the last few seasons. Like I mentioned, last season playing half a year, and even in 2022, only 104 games for Jorge Polcano. So I think his fantasy value is more of a player you're going to take in the later rounds of your fantasy draft, anywhere from the 16th to the 20th round range. He's going to show some pop. He's got some good RBI prowess as well. He's an on-base guy over the last few seasons. And now in terms of the players going back, Minnesota Twins in this deal, Anthony DeSclafani, obviously a veteran in this league, and now he's bounced around a couple times this offseason here. DeSclafani, he was traded in the Robbie Ray deal from the Giants to the Mariners last month, and now traded here to the Minnesota Twins, where he's got a shot to win out the 5th spot, especially Sonny Gray leaving in free agency. There could be a spot open. So last season, DeSclafani, not a great year, 4-8 record, 4.88 ERA, 18 games started, 99 2/3, and a 1.254 whip. So DeSclafani, in terms of fantasy baseball, if he does make this rotation, he's not really going to have any fantasy value, I believe, with this Minnesota Twin team. Like I said, I know it's a poor division in the AL Central, and it's a pitcher's ballpark for the most part, but I just don't see DeSclafani really doing much. And the last 2 seasons have been bad for him. I know 2021, he had a great year with a 13-7 record and a 3.17, but right now going to Minnesota and 34 years old, maybe his best years are behind him. So Jorge Polcano, big trade, traded to the Seattle Mariners, and we'll see if he can help this Mariners team and fantasy owners once again in the upcoming 2024 season.